Hello, I'm Scott Bogey here with John DeJesus ahead of his upcoming fight against Tobias Taylor. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just dandy, man. A little hungry, but we're a week out, so that's expected.
Exactly. And how has your training camp been for this upcoming fight?
It's been good, man. I recently switched over from Factory X to high altitude here in Denver, Colorado. We've been getting to work in high altitude. My cardio is phenomenal. Can't wait to put all my newfound skills to work.
And what do you think has been the main difference from Factory X to your new team?
Um, Just the intensity of the training. I mean, it was high at Factory X. There's no difference there. It's I went from one high level gym to another high level gym. And we just been getting to work, getting after it.
And obviously, for this fight, it is for the vacant featherweight title. Do you feel like that adds any more pressure on this fight?
Nah, man, it's just another fight. It's just a little bit of hardware that's on the line. I'm gonna go in there and do what I do best, show out, and grab another belt to bring home.
Exactly. And you have already got a lot more fights under your belt than Tobias. Do you feel like that is going to play a factor in this fight?
1000%. My experience is gonna play a factor in this fight. I've been there, done that, fought the who's of the game, and this is more of a this is this is a shot for him to prove to himself that he belongs. But I think he bit a little more than he can chew for this one.
Exactly. And like you're saying, this is the fight for him to prove that he belongs. You have been the fighter where if you are able to get past, you go into the next level. Your last fight against Luke Riley was meant to go into the contender series. And then the other people that have defeated you, Kaikamaka doing his thing in PFL, you have Bill Algeo, Pat Sabatini, they are all top level guys. So even though no one likes a defeat, obviously. But is there anything that makes it a little bit better knowing that it is against these top level fighters?
Nah, man, I've proven to the world that I belong at the highest level, man. Right now, the end game for me is PFL, or like I like to say, PFL Tour. So either PFL or Bellator. I'm trying to get back there. I'm trying to get paid what I'm worth and fighting against the best in the world. And this is just a step in the right direction for that.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, in your last fight, it was a decision defeat against Luke Riley. How did you feel like that fight went to you?
I mean, I felt good in there. It was a great opportunity to go overseas and go fight one of the best in the country. It just didn't go my way. I had a few little things going into it. I probably shouldn't even taken the fight, but that's all in the past now. It is what it is. I had a great time. I performed well. And he's just a savage dude. He fought a very smart fight. I thought he was gonna be a little more aggressive, come forward a little more. He didn't. He was very patient, and he was a smart dude. Hats off to him. I'd love to get another shot at him. Um, and the fight went the way it went. It was still an exciting fight. I don't know how to be in boring fights, so I take pride in that. And it was a good time. I had a really good time at Manchester.
And how was it coming into Manchester and fighting against the crowd as well?
It was a blast. It was filled with memories. I got to see Manchester. I'd never been overseas in that part of the world before. And it was a great experience that I will never forget. And I can't wait to get back to doing more things like that at a high level.
And obviously, that last fight ended your stint with Cave Warriors after 5 fights. Was it a mutual departure, or what? What? How did you leave?
This is just a little break. It's not a departure. I will for sure be back to Cage Warriors, maybe end of the year. I was never a contracted fighter with them, so I'm able to go fight in other places if I want to. But they like me. I love them. I'll be back.
Exactly. And there is a card at the end of the year in December in San Diego. We'd love to get you on that one. And How do you feel like this fight is going to go? Like, how do you feel like it's going to play out?
Apparently, no one's ever stopped Tobias Taylor via strikes. I plan on being the first to do so, or I may get a sub. Either way, it's gonna be a stoppage. I'm here to show that I'm on a much higher level than Tobias Taylor, and he just bit a little more than he can chew for this.
Exactly. And obviously, what have you improved on since that last fight?
I've been working on a lot of my blending, my takedowns, my takedown defense, and just a little more of my movement and being a little more crafty in my game. Not being so one dimensional. Been working a lot on that, and I feel like it's gonna show out this fight.
Yeah, exactly. And how did you get into the fight game?
The fight game, it started off so long ago now. Me and a couple of buddies of mine decided that we wanted to watch the UFC and then do some backyard brawling. And found out that I'm pretty good at it with no training. So I had a buddy of mine who was training at American Top Team at the time in Florida, and he was like, "Hey man, you're a natural at this. You should go look up a gym and take this on." And I went to the gym. I got beat up a little bit, but I had the most fun I had in a long time. I gave up all the nonsense, all the drink, all the drugs and nonsense I was doing at the time, just to pursue this full time and never look back.
So would you say like the fight game kind of got you back into the straight and narrow?
1000%. Yeah, I know it's a cliche. If I didn't find the fight game, I'd probably be dead or in jail or something like that. But I promise you that the path that my life was taking at the time was in the wrong direction. And MMA saved me from that. It gave me something to strive for. I wasn't, my life wasn't going in any real direction at the time. I was just going living day by day, doing whatever I wanted to do. I had no goals, I had no aspirations. And the second I found MMA, that all changed.
And like you're saying, you could be getting back in that San Diego card in December. So are you looking to, after this fight, as long as you are injury free, get straight back into the gym?
1000%. I'm either looking at that San Diego card in December if they can find me an opponent, or LFA is coming to Denver around the same time. So either one for me would be a blast to get into.
And how do you feel like with the LFA and Cage Warriors? Do you feel like they help get a lot of fighters to that next level just due to being on the UFC Fight Pass, just getting the fighters a bit more exposure?
1000%. If you want to get anywhere in this game, you have to go through one of them to get to where you need to be. And my goal, my thing is, I'll win three here, win two there, then lose one, take a step back. I'm looking to keep going forward. I'm looking to build momentum and keep going to where I need to be, which is the PFL Tour.
And is there anyone in the PFL Bellator that you are looking to fight?
There's a few guys I'm looking like. There's a Brendan Loughnane. He's one of the top dogs in PFL. I would love to get my hands on that dude. I know that I could fight him and be a competitive matchup and win the fight. Or I'd love to get another shot at Kai Kamaka. There's so many names in PFL or Bellator that intrigue me. I just want to fight the best and get paid to do so.
And what really, apart from the pay gap, what is the main difference between an event like Cage Warriors and Bellator to these other events like Coliseum?
Honestly, that you said it, it's the pay gap. You get paid to play, pretty much. You get paid your worth to go fight another individual. I put in the work, I put in the time, the blood, sweat, and tears. I've been doing this for about 15 years. Like I belong there. I know I belong there. I train with people who are there and I do very well against them. I just need the right opportunity to show out.
And do you feel like you are just that one or two fights, then you are could even potentially get on like a contender series or a UFC?
Possibly. I don't know. Dana White's always talking about he doesn't like 30 plus year old contenders. I'm 34 now. I got a big record, a lot of wins, a lot of losses. So I'm not gonna hold my breath. If it comes my way, I'm obviously gonna say
Yeah.
yes, but I'm not gonna hold my breath and wait and hope and pray that I get one of those chances. Right now, my goal, my tangible goal right now is PFL or Bellator.
And do you feel like having like these smaller term goals, like wanting to get into the PFL or Bellator, just helps you improve that game and it just makes it a bit more achievable and you can get that small tick?
1000%, man. I got goals. I got goals in mind. I know what I have to do. I know what it takes to be there. I've been there already. So I just got to get the right eyes on me and do what I do best and just show out.
Exactly. And I know you're going to do fantastic. What has been your trickiest fight so far in your career?
Trickiest fight so far in my career might have been Aaron Pico. I fought Aaron Pico. I knew he was a tough wrestler, a tough dude, got good striking. His wrestling was a little bit different than I expected. I expected a more bully wrestler, comes forward, tries to come in for a heavy takedown. And he wasn't that. He was more finessey. He had more technique in his wrestling than I expected, which I don't know why I expected anything else. The man's a savage in wrestling, but it was a very tricky fight. And I learned a lot of lessons that fight, and I feel like I've gotten better because of it.
And how much do you value the tape study in the sport? I know some fighters don't really do much. Some fighters absolutely love the tape study. Whereabout are you in that?
There's actually an inside joke that I don't study or I don't watch film. Um, I do watch film, but I tend to just watch the little tendency. What do you
Yeah.
like to do? Whether you like to strike, whether you like to wrestle, how do you like to get to your spots? I don't like to play too much into what happened in the past because if you're a good fighter, you're improving every fight. Um, and that's that. I just like to see what your main goal is to do in a fight, what your stance is, what your movement's like, and maybe to try to gauge your speed. But even then, like people get faster, things change in the cage. So I'm a more of a I like to fill it out to learn. Like even in the gym when I'm training, I'll ask my coach, "Hey, can you do that to me real quick so I can feel it? I like to feel
Yeah.
things." Um, as far as watching tape, so I feel like a lot of fighters look into it too much. They could get thrown off too. Maybe look at too many highlight reels, and now you don't want to get hit by that guy's overhand because he's finished five other guys with an overhand. That's not you. He's never fought you. So things change in there. You should be fighting a different fighter every time in there. Um, and that's the way I look at MMA and tape study.
And has there been anything in the octagon that has surprised you? Like, I know some fighters like to talk smack in the cage while they are fighting.
Oh, well, I'm one of those fighters that like to talk smack while I'm in the cage fighting. I've always told people if I'm talking to you, if I'm dancing in there, I'm comfortable when the fight's almost over, pretty much. So as far as being surprised by other things, I mean, I've been there, done that. There's not much that can surprise me these days. I've seen it all. You can wrestle, I fought the best wrestlers. You can strike, I fought the best strikers. You can blend, I fought the best blenders. Like I've seen it, I've done it. Now I just need to get paid for it.
Exactly. And I know you'll get a great performance and get that PFL/slash Bellator contract. I'll let you have the final word. Anything else you're wanting to say? Anyone you're wanting to shout out?
I mean, all I want to say is anybody who's followed my career and who's been a fan of mine, thank you, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. I know it's been ups and downs, and then it's kind of hard to follow sometimes, but the people who stuck with me from day one, trust me when I say I will die in there before I quit, and I'm going straight to the top. I will never quit on myself.
Well, that sounds great, and I wish you the best of luck.
All right, man, thank you.